evening, everyone. And tonight, as usual, we do our review show, and it is season 5 of The Shy, episode 2, titled Oh Girl. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
The end of a long 4-day weekend. A lot going on. Keisha, family reunion. Dwayne, visiting family and friends. Me myself, I just stayed around the house. I worked yesterday, and a lot going on in the world. A lot of crazy stuff. Shooting in Akron, Ohio. The video got released, and then you got
What
the mass
happened in
shooting.
Illinois?
The mass shooting in Illinois. So the Shy is what they're doing this season. For a lot of people don't know that they're dropping the episode on their app on Fridays, not on demand. So I guess they're doing this as a way of giving their loyal fans a way to watch the Shy on Fridays, and then giving the fans in general and the subscribers of Showtime a chance to watch the Shy on Sunday. But we want to continue doing our review show on Mondays to give everybody a chance to watch, because everybody don't want to watch and then spoil the show like everybody else. And Keisha had basically watched the show when she got home. Me and Dwayne watched probably The Shy 3 times a piece, I would say, because I watched a little early just to freshen up for the show. But anyway, what's up, y'all?
What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. You tell me, Dwayne. I know you're a little tired. Had a
Yeah,
very
that's all
interesting
good.
night last night, and
Yeah, no, I
you
was in the home now.
you were speeding on the highway just now to get home, I
Yeah,
assume.
yeah, yeah. No, listen, I like the episode. I think they followed up the first episode pretty good. I guess we're gonna call him Victor now, right? Because they trying to do away with that. One thing
He
that
doesn't use his trigger finger anymore.
right. One thing that hit me watching this episode, and I only watched it twice, but a lot of things we knocked her for, like not showing strong black males and stuff like that. I think she heard a lot of that, and I think she's trying to make Victor that person. You know, they're trying to do a lot of family type stuff with them, with Rashad and with Jake, and now the mother is there, and they sitting down having family dinner and praying together and all that stuff. So that was intriguing. I don't like what they're doing with Emmett, like when he's sitting there with all three of his sons, trying to be a daddy and all that stuff. They trying to change him as well to make him more, I guess you say, more wholesome, more a daddy now. You know, trying to be a daddy to his three sons or whatever. So that's interesting what they're trying to do with that, reading them bedtime stories and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't like what they're doing with Little Papa. I think they're doing his character a disservice this year. Interested to see what road he continues to go down. But overall, I thought it was solid. The girl scene where all the women is together talking. I thought that was kind of weird because Tracy was in the mix of that with Nina and Dre and Jada. So, but yeah, overall, I thought it was a decent episode.
Keisha.
I hated it. Um, Let me see. Let me count the ways I did not. Them making Tiff a whore, or having Keisha call her sis, and they know that the next plan is for Keisha to be with Emmett. I don't think that that's acceptable. I don't think that that's okay. I don't think that you make these women friends, because it doesn't seem like Tiff has really any outside friends. You're making them friends. They going out to party together, and now um, Keisha's gonna be with her husband. I don't know. I don't like that whole thing. The Amani and Trig thing, I still don't like it. I still don't like where it's going. I'm not sure where. So here's my issue. And we have to be respectful of the spectrum of the LGBT, right? The spectrum that I thought Trig was on from, and I could be wrong, is that he felt Amani was a woman. He saw her as a woman. He did not consider himself gay. But now they kind of got him like he's almost afraid of women. So I'm not understanding the switch up of the characters. If Tracy is so holier than now, then why she couldn't wait to take her clothes off and get with Duda? Her baby father don't have a problem with this. Like it's just a lot of things. Um, Jada and Darnell. Why is Dre so upset? Dre act like she in love with Jada. Like, and a gay woman and a straight woman, they could be platonic best friends and not have no sexual chemistry or any of that. So why is Jada so mad? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't fit. What did Darnell do to Jada?
You mean Dre? Now, I know the backdrop to that is that Darnell used to mess with Dre too in high school. He was a player. But you're right. Why is Dre so upset with Jada?
Why is she so upset? Because Darnell has stepped up. He went over there when she was sick. Whenever she called him, he done stepped up. He done stepped up from Emmett. He's very remorseful on some. He's very honest. That was the kid, Darnell. I'm a grown ass man now, so I just don't under like. When does he get his redemption? Or do are black men not allowed redemption? I didn't like what's the Dre wife name? She was throwing. They was throwing
Nina.
shots at each other. They were talking about they trying to talk about stuff, and subliminally their relationship issues was coming out. Why don't we just address it instead of them going to counseling and we're not knowing about it? Um, I didn't like the mother situation, Peaches, because she looked clean. Typically children they would have taken their mother in because she looked clean. It's an emotional attachment to wanting your mother to be clean and off drugs, and she really looked healthy, clean and off drugs. So Trig may have had some trepidation, but would he have said it? I don't know. I didn't really like that. I mean, I just didn't like it. I just didn't like. I really don't like Tiff. She already living with another the nigga and got him picking up. I'm sorry, living with another dude and got him picking up your kid, and you think it's okay, so you could go dancing at the club. Tiff was a better mother than that. I mean, I don't know. I,
Um,
I I'm
it's
not
it,
happy. I'm not
it's
liking it.
funny. It's funny after watching the episode 3 times. That just tells you guys how many times I needed to watch it to really try to see what they were showing. I personally watching it 3 times, talking to you guys. I had the privy to be able to talk to y'all, and y'all didn't really talk about it. So I was trying to. Y'all basically gave me a different angle, both of y'all. But one thing that I'm starting to realize with the Shy this season is they are doing a massive reset of the show. They're doing character. They're changing characters right before our eyes with Trig being Victor, resetting him to basically be city council. I think that one thing Lena Waithe and the writers did is I think that the Jason Mitchell thing threw them off so much it actually took a season or two to recover and to write the script and write the story to how her vision initially wanted to be. And this is why they're changing Trig's character to be more polished, as Tracy called him, the prodigal son that came home and changed his life around. If you look at Jason Weaver's character, you can't destroy Jason Weaver's character. He's always played a certain role. So even him coming home being an ex-con, basically now they got a lady. They wrote a lady in his life, and they're gonna basically have him as more of what Jason Mitchell was supposed to be. Somebody taking him, quote unquote, and refining him. I am the Tiff and Emmett thing bothers me a lot because I think the first couple of seasons you saw them grow together, and now he was honest with her about something he did prior to the marriage, and it's like she's finding herself, which is truly understandable at the point of her life. But she's finding herself, and she don't even have nothing to offer outside of that. She got her little hustle on, whatever, but she don't got her own place. And I think that shows. I don't believe most young women would do what she's doing, as far as leaving her son with a guy that she don't even realize that she's not in a relationship. She's just sleeping with this dude, and he's giving her a safe haven. So I think that's kind of strange. I do think Darnell and Jada, are going to wind up together. I think that that's kind of good. I think that what Darnell is realizing at the end of the day, that he done played, he done did all the stuff in the street, and now it's time for him to make it right. He's made it right with his son, and you see how the relationship with him and Emmett has evolved, and it's, with Emmett even calling him pops, and now, even
I
seeing some of the
appreciated that
things,
in the first
yeah,
episode.
even seeing some of the things, you see how he's going to basically
Who
um
Becky?
get do whatever he got to do to get Jada. Did y'all know? Big fan of Stephen Williams, big fan of Q. I really loved the scene when he had to tell Tracy at the end of the day, "Who's your daddy now?" I think that they need to still do that backdrop. They have to. To me, they cannot take away from Q's role if he never says nothing to Emmett about that restaurant. He has to say
Well,
something to
I
Emmett
think
about the
they
restaurant.
are because Peaches said to Jacob, why I didn't know his name was Jacob. Peaches said to him, "We used to come here when it was Sonny's."
No, yo, but she said that to Jacob. Jake.
Yeah.
That's,
So
but she
that
didn't
makes
say
me
it. She didn't say it to
no. So
Emmett. They
that
have
makes
to.
me think that they're gonna tie in the
They're,
Sonny's.
they're gonna have to, because there's no way that Q would come way back and say we need to get these streets together without checking this young man for basically swindling his brother out of his restaurant. So I think it's a very. I think the Shy, for the us that have been watching, I really believe it's a reset. I think the last two seasons have been like staggering. I appreciate Lena and them for listening to their fans. I think the episode was good. I'm not gonna say it was bad. I'm not gonna say it was great. I think they're doing a redefining of the characters.
I do
All
like that.
Tracy lines was corny with the
Well, you
Stacy
you, you know you know
attitude.
what's funny? What's funny, Keisha? I said that to Dwayne. Me and Dwayne, big Tracy fan. Tay Davis, I think she's a great actress on her way
She
up.
gotta start
But
taking
so,
her clothes off.
Hmm?
She gotta start taking her clothes off. I'm tired of them doing scenes with her and then cutting, and then it's the next day. She need to come up. She need to come up out them drawers and let us see it. That's one. Two,
Okay.
I like what they're doing with Rashard, the Jason Weaver character. They let you hear his voice a little bit. He sang the Luther a little bit.
Nicole, Tiffany is sleeping with the guy already. They don't sleep together already. Nicole.
Last year. But
No,
He
that's
wants
not what she's
exclusive.
saying.
He wants exclusivity.
yeah, I like the Jason Weaver. I like him singing to the lady, wanting to make her dinner and stuff like that. And I just hope that young lady is not a man.
No, it's a woman.
Okay.
It's a woman. Her name is Carolyn Michelle Smith. I had
I
to
don't
look.
think.
I
I
did look
think
it up, Dwayne.
she would still be considered a woman, Dwayne.
Okay,
Even
I'm just saying. I'm wrong. Maybe
let's
I'm
be
a
politically correct here.
No,
maybe I'm being
Dwayne.
PC.
It's funny because when you do look at shows like this, and they showed how he had not a problem, he just needed some clarity what Trig was going with. So you would think that they would write something like that in his part with accepting it, but I did question that too, whether that was a transformer or not.
It's
But
nice
it
that
is it is it is a woman.
I think it's nice that in this day and age.
You talk about the algorithms and the people listening, and go
I
ahead.
just said transformer. That's all.
Okay.
Listen, I do like that they're gonna let the kids do a little gaming club. That's a little bit realistic. That's happening in schools all over the country. So, and they got to do something with Kev. I like that they brought this little girl back as a love interest for him, even though she a little weird. She said she only texts and emojis.
Kevin is weird too, though.
True.
I'm
true.
gonna
I
ask y'all
mean,
a question. Where do y'all think they going with Kevin? Another girl writing in the script for him. And then they did the, we saw the previews, so we see the previews where he told Jake stay away from the like. I think the Kevin thing is that honestly, the writers got his character twisted in the wind. Last year, you showed that he had a substance abuse. He may have had a substance abuse problem, so they were going down that road. And then it's like a
Still got.
complete halt. And it's like, what are y'all doing with Kevin's role?
I don't know. It's interesting. What is Maisha's role now?
Yeah, you know what's funny, Dwayne? I was shocked how Maisha was talking to Papa, how she jumped on his bed at his house, and then last year she basically told him like she needed to find herself,
Mm.
go
I
their separate
mean,
ways.
I think that she's always going to be Papa's voice of reason. But I think this year should be the year of Papa. Like the other kids have kind of went through their transition. So you know what how they're trying to find themselves and what their issues are. I think they dropped the ball when Papa's father got locked up at the funeral because that's when they were supposed to make Papa go through the transition of questioning religion and what he's being taught and what they were, Papa never went through that transition, and I think it's time for him to go through that.
One of the things that Dwayne noticed, Keisha, that he said to me the other day on the phone was the image of the family and how they're
Hmm.
doing with Trig, Jake, his mother, the actor Jason Rashad, how they had the family dinner, and maybe that's good that they're going to try to make them have the family. I thought it was kind of cheesy that they brought this girl in for Trig's character. I mean, it's let's be honest,
It's
it's
politics.
it's politicians that we know aren't in relationships. I just think that sometimes he could be a single
Boy,
man. He could be a single
my
man. You don't
boy,
have to.
my boy CB. They brought in
Yeah,
somebody for CB. We all know it. She played
allegedly.
her best acting role ever. I
Well,
won't name. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
I
Her
think I
act-
said his name.
Oh,
but
you did. Okay.
the thing is, my thing is, you don't have to go down that road and get a girl and sign these non-disclosure because Trig, Victor. As much as he'll take this role, like you knew he was gonna walk away. You knew like he ain't with trying to be controlled, and that's the whole thing that
Or I'm hoping he gets a love interest. You know what I mean? I kind of wasn't feeling the Amani thing anyway, and not because she was transgender. I wasn't feeling the role because I don't feel like she was accepting of him
Mm-mm.
and in his transition and what he was feeling as being in that relationship. I didn't feel like she was very accepting when she blamed him when they went into that bar, and the gay guy was essentially harassing him. He was at the bar drinking, minding his business. He said he was not interested, and the guy went ballistic.
I did notice that Dre is trying to control everything. Everything is no, like you said, Keisha. No, Jada. Suede is the one. Darnell, and then she'd be like the counseling. Like, don't get me wrong. Like we outside of our review show, when people need help, they need help. But don't ever. What's amazing about people is, and they're shown in the show. Some people get infatuated with their process that they want their process to be on everybody else's. So I think that even when she says, you even see how Nina's reaction is every time she say counseling, and then at the end of the episode, they're having a counseling together on the couch. They get dressed up on the couch to do an online session, and I think that's
Well,
just
Dre is a counselor or
Right.
something,
Right.
and if you have any social workers or therapists in your life and they be trying to therapize or socialize the whatever the issue or the conversation, it can be like annoying. It
yeah,
can be. And I think that that's what the wife is going through.
yeah,
She's annoyed by Dre because, and Dre contradicts everything she says.
yeah.
Even with the kids, she contradicts everything she says.
She agrees with all the kids in their face 99.9% of the time. She just agrees. Whatever they want to
So
do. Well, let them do it.
for a spouse feel like your spouse is supposed to agree with you in public and y'all work it out in private. Drake disagrees with Nina all the time. So
Yeah, and I had the Tracy thing, like, and I didn't get a chance to really explain it, Keisha.
No.
It was some bad lines, man. It
them
was when they
lines
was doing the clothes
are
drive. When they was doing the clothes drive, and her and Rashad was trying to get Trig to understand the run, and she was signing stuff. It was some bad one-liners in there, man. What, Dwayne?
We only need one thing from Tracy.
how'd
If
y'all
her
like
right.
D-Ray?
Well, Keisha, I think that the D-Ray thing. I don't know how many episodes he's gonna be in, and if he'll actually be in the episode instead of being through the phone. Um, that's rare to form with Lena Waithe and the writers with Chicago actors.
No, I mean, but why? I think he's supposed to be like a Kevin Samuel, like this relationship guru. But why didn't they really make him true to form? I don't know if he's really
Yeah,
true to form
they should have made D-Ray who he really is, like
with the
the
polygamy and all
polygamy.
that.
Yeah, I mean, and I just think that it's interesting that they're having his
So
character and
now
Emma's
I can
character.
see that. I can see Emmett, Tiff, and Keisha being in a polygamous relationship.
Can you? Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
but you see, they're already setting it up, like you said, because Keisha said, "Well, he ain't that bad. He's a good man." Like she said that to Tiff already.
And y'all remember before Keisha was kidnapped or whatever, Tiff said, I don't have a problem with you, but don't be trying to wear this tight stuff or whatever, trying to entice my man. And so this, like, to me, they're kind of making it okay. Like every girl Kevin gets, Jake tries to talk to, even down to the first episode of season one. Kevin liked the girl, here come Jake. They really brothers like that? If that's what you're doing,
Yeah,
you know, it makes me wonder. Now, when Papa got with, I can't think of her name right now. It's been a long weekend. Who?
Maisha.
Maisha.
Kevin was happy.
He was no, but it was over. And it was like a little discussion had been had, like, do you mind if I do this, this, and this? And he said he didn't mind. Like that's the way it's supposed to be in my mind.
Well, Keisha, I wanted to talk about a person whose role is small, but it's amazing how in 2 episodes the way they wrote his role, you like him now. Gemma's father, it's like he's a totally different person. You've seen him before as more of like a jerk, and he was Duda's guy, but now you see him more like an advisor to his wife. I mean, his daughter. He's a father, and even with the advice to Trig, like, yeah, we're gonna keep the tape for a rainy day, but
Let me,
it's
you
good.
know what I think it is? I think he's still a jerk. But in our community, um, it's several ways that it's several avenues that we take to get where we're going. And I think a part of him is, he wasn't going to automatically embrace Trig. He from the other part of town. He had it
Yeah,
harder. So, but now that he knows him better, he's treating him differently. I think that that's what it's about more so than
Nicole said
anything
that
else.
beatdown changed him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that
sometimes
too.
sometimes a good old ass whooping to knock some sense into certain people.
Child, some people need it. Don't get me started. And he needs
I
to get with
really
his little hot ass daughter. She just is.
She
I
too
Uh,
grown.
but
I
Keisha,
think.
I really think
I
like
think.
Gemma.
I think they
Go
made her too grown with her attire, with the way she talks, how she wearing her hair now. I think they've made her too grown, too mature.
mhm.
Like I said, how do y'all feel about the whole Trig being Victor? Like where they going with it? How do y'all feel?
Transformation. Transformation. If he gonna be trying to run for city council, he can't be Trig. He got to be Victor. And like he's trying to clean up his persona and his act. You know, this is just what it is. He Victor now. Stop even calling him the other
So
name.
let me just ask you though, are the people going to like him? Because now he's going to be something different than what the people like.
Well, now he's at a he's at a crossroads. Victor. Like he wants to be who he wants to be. He also wants to be the city councilman, and
I you
he's
you
gonna
know
come
what?
to realize, he gonna come to realize that he needs Duda to achieve that goal.
Does he really want to be the city councilman? I think this is a play on when you want to have a grassroots movement and they always trying to pull you into politics. And
Yeah.
sometimes they're pulling you in with the idea that you could get more done. But I wonder if you really can get more done when you're pulled into the
My my
politics.
my thing is that given Chicago's history, you know that an alderman in Chicago has more power than a city council person. An alderman basically runs their area. And when you tie in Duda was the ex-mayor, Candy's character, she's still a mayor. She's the mayor. Dude, Trig is going to run for city council. Duda
Victor.
is there. Victor's going to run for city council. You know that Q is there to take back the streets and increase the police. So my whole thing is, how is this going to be ran community? Like, really, because at a certain point, Victor, he's going to get in a situation where he's going to be out of pocket. He may not have his ear to the street or whatever. So it's interesting where they're going to try to go with it.
There it is. There it is.
Nicole said Trig was already changing himself before trying to run with the center and everything.
Yeah.
But what was Trig? We know what they said he was, but what was he? Like, I mean, even him, like it. I think that they used him, like I said in the other, like I said before, as a quick fix for Reg, but it wasn't enough clarity. Like even now with Q is gonna he's they did not bring Stephen Williams back in the show for 2 episodes. He's there
Well, so it doesn't. So who's running the street gang now?
exactly, exactly.
Who's running it? Because Duda was running it, but
And
Duda done went whack.
Dude I told Trig before. Now his name Victor. He told him before, I need you to be my point guy on the street. And that was supposed to have been written in season 4, but they never showed any of that stuff. And it's just, when it comes to certain storylines within the story, it's kind of like throwing stuff up against the wall and hoping something sticks. But those of us that really watch the show, like, what avenue is y'all going down? What is y'all doing?
Well, she told you. Like I said, when she was on with the Essence, she talked about how every year season 5 is that episode that turns you towards how the season's gonna wrap. So she told you she looks at this season 5, as that turning, that flipping. So she's resetting the Shy with this season. It's her mindset. This is what she's doing. Exactly what she said in her live with the young lady that was interviewing her, uh, Curtis Cook, and Jason Weaver. She said it. This season 5 is the turning of the series, so she's resetting these characters.
Let me
And,
tell
and,
you,
and season 5 is about black love. That's the theory of the season.
season 5, she need to do something before she was canceled.
Right.
But I still have hope for the season, even though I didn't like this episode.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling like I've been feeling the last 2 years. I want some consistency um out of them. I kind of felt like what did I learn differently in this episode? I didn't learn we learned his name was Victor last episode. Like what did we learn
We learned
that's
we learned that Nina's really tired of Dre. She's tired of him. I don't think they're gonna make it. Because Dre says one thing and then she is turning her, rolling her eyes. She
Listen, I don't think
talked
that
to,
Dre is the perfect black man anymore.
no, but she
I
talked
think
about,
some people.
I
but
think
if
one thing. I think one thing they did is that they really, really are focusing more on Darnell's character.
yeah, but
And
if you listen to that female scene, listen to one of the main lines that Nina said in there. She talked about maybe being in a committed relationship and then being bored. So they're making it seem like Nina's bored being married to Dre.
That's what I
That-
got.
That's what they're doing.
but so I'm gonna ask y'all a question, right? And before we do our ratings for the episode, and I asked myself this: what are we looking forward to for episode 3?
I mean, I'm just looking forward to the story still being told. Like, I'm intrigued by it. I'm intrigued by how Q gonna take the streets back and how Duda's gonna be involved in that. I'm intrigued with Duda trying to make Victor a candidate. What Rashard gonna do with his love interest? You know, Papa. I think there's gonna be some very interesting episodes coming up surrounding Papa. If you saw some of the previews for the season, you can see he mentions to like Jake and Kevin, like I always had y'all backs, but neither one of you had mine. So I'm interested to see how they go with that. So yeah, there's some nuggets out there that I think is still good to explore.
I mean, I agree with that. I want to see. I'm okay with Jada and Darnell being together.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that they've always. I feel like Jada's always been in love with Darnell, and Darnell wasn't ready, and now he's ready. So, and they've grown. Let's see what becomes of that. Um, Now y'all know I was always a fan of Tiff and Emmett. That's who I wanted. I mean, not Tiff, Keisha and Emmett. That's who I wanted him to be
Yeah.
with. I'm not looking forward to that storyline
You
because
just
I
don't like
don't think
you just
it's
don't
going
like
to be
they going
handled.
about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to
Yeah,
be
you
handled
don't like
realistically. I just don't. Um, I'm looking forward to the kids. I want to see more kids. I want Kevin to find his way. Kevin is a really out of the three. Kevin is the smartest kid, and I think Kevin is bored. With normal schooling because he's so smart. I think that's realistic. I think a lot of our kids are smart that way. A drug dealer ain't nothing but a businessman. So I want to see that progression with Kevin, and I want Papa to have his season.
Let me ask y'all a question because I think they did something without showing us that it happened. So we knew Kevin couldn't go back to the school because the head of the school told him last year, and Kev was like, "One
Papa,
mistake, one mistake, and you getting rid of me." So Kev couldn't go to the exclusive school where Jake and Gemma is at. How did Jake get kicked out though?
they're
Was
all
it
at the same school, right, Dwayne?
they're back at that school? So that means Jake got eliminated from that school too. Was it
Probably
because
for
of that,
fighting.
was it because of that fight? I guess they
And-
kind of leave that to your imagination. Like kick both
yeah,
of them
because
out.
see, Jake didn't have the grades.
Right.
Buddha just got him in. So y'all hear these firecrackers?
I think that like I said, the reason why I asked y'all that question was I don't. I think that I'm not. I'm not gonna say I'm not looking forward to certain things. I think the Jake and Darnell thing. I'm sorry, Jake and Darnell and Jada thing. It brings her character full circle from season one with being a single mother and basically struggling to find out her place. I think that Darnell is really he's sincere. I think that they need to explore the Q and um Emmett thing with that restaurant because if you're not going to show Dom, they need to let us know what's going on with the restaurant and why it has always been a place. And I think that Q, once he meets Emmett, talks to Emmett, I think that could be a interesting relationship because
He know Emmett.
Emmett ain't gonna bust a grape. So yeah, and he was giving Emmett the game before, so he'll probably tell Emmett like, "Look, you're now. I don't like the business of how you got the restaurant, but now your restaurant is a pillar in our community, and I think that's going to be essential. I do think, like Dwayne said about the previews with Papa, I think Papa's role needs to continue to grow, be defined. I think he is going to break away from the crew. I think that he, in knowing how they've done him as an actor, I think that Papa needs to break away from them, and eventually within the next, if they do get to another season or two, somebody's going to college, somebody's going to do something. They're not going to all be together. Um, the Duda thing, I think that we're going to realize who Duda is. Is he a bad guy trying to be good, or is he a good guy that just want bad? I know he always avoided certain things. So, like Dwayne said, him um, being a mentor to Victor moving forward is interesting because he has to
Is
give him again.
Buddha
Go ahead,
Jake's father?
Keisha. I got a strange feeling that he's his father. I got a strange feeling, Keisha, because something just don't seem right with just bringing the mother back and her not explaining, or them not explaining more about her character. I wouldn't mind seeing a twist. I'm quite sure it's going to be a twist in the story where we're going to have a oh shit moment where one of us going to call the other one like, yo, you got to hurry and watch it. They threw a twist in there.
I mean, I just don't. I mean, everybody knew Peaches. It looked like she was the pretty girl that got strung out on drugs. Every community has one. Um, so I'm just really, I don't understand. I don't understand Duda's whole dynamic. Like, why did he kill Reg and then want to raise his brother? And I don't even understand why they want to work with Duda when they know Duda killed their brother. I mean, I don't.
It,
That
it's
doesn't
kind it's
seem
kind of
realistic to
it's
me.
kind of it's kind of making it a little too close for comfort. So I do think, like you said, I do think they got to really provide us with more clarity into the characters and into the backstory. And it's hard to do that with every character when you only have 10 episodes to tell your story. But anyway, ratings time. I'm gonna just jump out from the door. I'm giving it a 6.5.
You giving it a what?
6.5.
Okay, Dwayne, what you giving it?
I'm giving it a. I enjoyed it.
Did you say an 8?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 8. It kept my attention. It made me laugh
4?
a lot. Yeah.
Keisha, you giving it a 4?
4. And then what was that?
Dwayne, somebody called Dwayne while he was doing the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why his picture dropped. His volume was still here, but his picture dropped. But anyway, Nicole gave it a 7. I gave it a 6.5. Keisha gave it a 4. Dwayne gave it an 8. So that's our ratings for the show. Any final thoughts, you guys?
I'm looking forward to next week.
Don't be afraid to get a little tipsy and walk your hometown. Therapeutic.
With that, I was thinking, we got 4 weeks before Raising Canaan. Once we start our Raising Canaan, we'll be actually in episode 7 of doing the Shy and doing episode 1 of Raising Canaan. So we'll probably have to do 2 different shows or a split show when we decide to do that. So time is moving, and we'll be in August real shortly, and the Shy will be coming to a close. But until then, appreciate all you guys for joining our show where we review the Shy every Monday at 8 o'clock. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Best way to support the channel is to like, share, and subscribe. No P Valley tomorrow, Nicole. We've never did a P Valley review, and we don't intend to do a P Valley review because one thing about
Dwayne
certain
hasn't
review shows,
watched it.
one thing about certain review shows is that sometimes the spoilers come out a little too much, and P Valley some of us aren't big fans on P Valley as others, and it's a lot of shows that we all watch. So we come to an agreement on what shows we want to do, and the Shy and the Power verse has always been good to us, and it's easier for us to just do those shows. And occasionally we'll do a documentary or a movie that come out, um, and we haven't done that since the video music box one, and hopefully soon we'll be get back to doing that. With that, everybody stay safe. Have a great week, long weekend. Lot going on. Just stay safe and realize that we're in the middle of a recession. Don't get too crazy and know what's going on and know your surroundings and know that COVID is still in the air.
That's
Oh,